absolutely right. Yeah,
You know.
you really don't.
You know. This was great, man. This was great. What's on the horizon for the next year, man? What are we looking at?
Yeah. Well, we're expanding. We signed an artist on our label, Randis, this year. We put a single out on him. We're doing like single deals. Trying to do something a little different. We're not really doing album deals. Everything is single driven now.
Right.
So, you know, we're doing single deals. So we're looking to actually sign other artists, you know.
Okay.
Eventually, we're looking to expand this thing and not just do the smooth jazz stuff. You know, I'd love to get back into, you know, I still do my R&B stuff, of course.
Yeah.
You know, I'll bang out the occasional hip hop beat every now and again.
Yeah.
Call for.
Cold with it. You the coldest producer I know, hands down. I don't know anybody personally colder than you.
You are too kind and
man. Just cold, man.
That's very flattering coming from you, Sway, because you are a bad dude and you've always. Let me tell you about your boy Sway Low, man. He's you know, when I first met him, he was very young. But what I liked about him is he was so hungry and he was just such a well-mannered kid. I'm gonna use the word kid because you were a kid.
I was,
You were a kid.
I was,
But you were a good kid, and that's what attracted me to you and Kyron. You guys were like, I've known Kyron since he was a teenager.
Yep.
You were just such good kids. You know, I'm a little older than them and stuff. Not much, a little bit, you know.
A little bit, just a smidgen.
But you just, you know, I would rather work with a good kid than a jerk any day. I don't like working with kids, you know. And you guys were just, I could just see what was in your heart. Just, they had a heart full of talent. I'm like, you know, I got to try to do something, you know, for these guys. And they were so ridiculously talented. Swalo is one of the few guys that I know who can sing equally as well as he can rap. There's people that do it, but I haven't seen anybody do it as well as Swalo.
I appreciate
Swalo does it. He is just wickedly nice, MCing as well as singing. And I was just so impressed with that. He's like, yeah, well, I sing too. I'm like, you sing too? And he started singing. I'm like, you know, double threat here. You know, I was just blown away by that and his heart and his talent. And he was just such a good kid. And it was just back then and until this day, there's not a thing on this planet that I wouldn't do for him. He is such a great guy. Such a great guy. And just great people.
Yes, he is. There ain't nobody like Swalo.
Nobody. Absolutely not. Great guy.
I want to tell the story of the first night I met Dennis. I was working a job. We mentioned Kyron. Kyron is the glue that brought us together and whatnot. And we were working the same job. And it was late at night. It was maybe 11 o'clock at night. We were getting off. And he said to me, he was like, I have somebody I want you to meet. Excuse me. And I was like, B, I'm tired. It's 11 o'clock. It's Saturday night. I'm exhausted. All I want to do is go home. And he said, no, this is someone you're going to want to know. Not someone that you're going to want to meet. He said, this is someone that you're going to want to know. So just the wording in that within itself was just like, okay, let's go. So we drive to Yonkers, all right? We go to Yonkers and we knock on the door and Dennis greets us with this big smile and open arms and stuff like this. And he's all excited. And like I said, I'm exhausted. You know what I mean? Wanting to go home, go to bed. So we walk up the stairs and we go inside his studio. His studio was in his attic. And we go inside the studio and I'm like, wow, okay, all right, okay. And then he started playing some tunes for me. And everything that I ever thought that I knew about making records went out the window at that moment. And I was like, I have a lot of learning to do. You know what I mean? So I took it on as that. Then, like, I remember the first night I met Bob Baldwin at your house. That was another moment as well, because we were all just partying bullshit. You know what I mean? But But at the same time, you guys were producing a record at the same time. But we were just having a good time. And, you know, although we were laughing and cutting up but out the corner of my eye, I just kept looking over there at you. You know what I'm saying? How you was putting it together. And I was just like, oh, that's how he does it. Oh, that's how it's done. Oh, because every now and again you would play a little bit because you were editing. It was an editing session. And you would play a little bit. And I was like, I never knew. Because my biggest thing with making R&B records was the transition. How do you get it to transition from one section to the other seamlessly? And I learned how to do it that night with you and Bob and whatnot. And it was just like, oh, this guy is a wealth of information, man. I can learn a lot. I kind of clung on to Dennis after that, man. I just wanted to be around him all the time. Anytime he had free time, I wanted to go to his house and just, if we didn't even do nothing, I just wanted to be in his presence because I felt like I was in the presence of greatness. You know what I mean? You know, I never met anybody like him from a music standpoint. I never met anybody like Dennis. It was insane.
That's flattering. Thank you, Sway. I tell you, Bob really, he got me to next level. He got me to next level with my playing.
Yeah.
You know, he forced me to, because I was always an ear guy, you know, just kind of noodle around and play by ear. But you know, I played a little. He's like, you need to learn what you're playing. He's like, you know, like when you play, you know, these notes together, you know, this is a C minor 7. Okay, okay, all right, it's just a cool sounding chord.
Right.
C minor 7. Okay, all right, whatever. So he really taught me a lot of music theory.
Yeah.
A lot, you know, chord progression. Even though I was doing them anyway by ear, you know, he's the cat that really is like, okay, what you doing there? It's like, I know, yeah, it is right. You just did a 2-5-1. Okay, a 2-5-1. So now I bought books and learned, okay, that's a 2-5-1, that's a 1-4. Even though I was doing, so he was the guy that really got me to the next level with, as far as just being more musical with what I do, because his production skills are
insane.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show.
Yeah. Big shout out to Bob, man.
Shout out to Bob.
I give him credit too. For me, like I watched both of you that night and was like, yo, this is different.
And Bob, you know, he mentored Reagan as well. And, you know, when we got her, he was the one that, because she was originally, when I met her, she was right out of college. Right. And she was a classical musician. She didn't know anything about jazz, but she wanted to make the transition. So Bob actually, you know, took everything that he knows and deprogrammed her from this whole classical thing and say, okay, we're going to break all those classical rules, because there's really no improvising in classical music, but jazz and stuff, you know, all day, that's all we do and stuff. So he was really the one that got her out of that classical thing and transitioned her, you know, into jazz, man. And you know, she is, you know, forever grateful. You know, we're students of Bob. We're all
students of Bob. You know what I mean?
And he's so proud. You know, he sees the hit records and stuff. Yep. He's on the hit records. You know, he's right to this stuff. You know, so it's such a blessing to be able to turn it around and kind of pay him back. It's like, all right, Bob, all right, I need you to write this bridge on this tune here, and you know, get this going. And next thing you know, it's charting. He's so like excited, and he's so proud that you know. We're his students, you know. And,
beautiful.
You know, we're trying
Bob,
to get
I'm on the way, Bob. I'm letting you know I'm on the way.
Yes, we know it's coming. Yeah, man. So yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to my man Ron Cerise. Like I said, he was the guy that gave us our first shot in the music business. My first time in a recording studio. He was the guy that made that happen, and I'm still in contact with him, and we still I produce his daughter. His daughter's a singer, so I'm producing some music with her. Shout out to my man Matt Noble over at the Loft in Bronxville. Guy that really introduced me to some great people, took me under his wing as well, and you know, just put me into some really nice situations. So I've been blessed to have some really good people, you know, in my life, man, to you know, make this thing happen.
Just amazing. I think the jewels that you dropped today, man, be beneficial to a lot of kids that that don't really have real knowledge of how this thing works. You know what I mean? You know, and that's what it's all about. Just kind of just education, you know, because everybody wants to be a star sometimes, but a lot of people don't know the path it takes to get there. You know what I mean? And speaking to someone that's actually bona fide and has a real strategy on how the game goes, it can always be helpful. You know,
yes, sir.
As far as that's concerned.
It's the peanut butter magic show. It's the peanut butter magic.